It goes to you too.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Welcome to my mom's 80th birthday party. And it wouldn't have been such a great surprise if it weren't for all of you. So thank you for coming. Thank you for responding to my emails. And thanks to my sister for getting the email addresses from my dad. The convoluted process we worked behind the scenes was something. But between my brother Tom, my sister Kathy, and me, we pulled it off. But again, without the audience, without my mom's friends, family, and she really, genuinely was surprised. So that's what counts. So I have a little speech, if you will, I'm going to read to my mom, and then my brother has some pictures he's going to share with us all, and I think my sister has a song, and maybe my dad's going to get up and sing, and yeah.
And dance?
And dance? With his two canes?
That's fine.
So we have a little bit of an entertainment program, if you will, for the next 20 minutes or so. Then we'll have cake and maybe we can sing happy birthday to my mom. So I'm going to read you this speech, Mom. Yeah, you got to get ready for it.
Can we listen?
And everybody can listen, yes. Please. 7 reasons why I look up to my mom. And this is supposed to be off the cuff, and so it will be. I could have written 80 reasons why I look up to my mom, but I didn't think we wanted to stay here all day. 7 reasons will take up enough time, but the reasons I look up to, and we all look up to Mom, are endless. My mom is very special. It didn't take me 80 years to realize this. Nor this surprise party. This is something I knew a long time ago. She is kind and generous, concerned about others, and selfless beyond measure. My mom gives nothing less than 100% to everything and everyone around her. I have always looked up to her, yes, ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, when I actually had no choice but to look up to her. Number 1, she is a devoted mother. Remember, there are 7 reasons here. Number 1, she's a devoted mother. There's no question about it, my mom has always put her children first. From the very earliest days of our lives, which happens to be a favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I thought of that as I was writing it, and I wanted to remember to, an aside, in the very earliest days of our lives, even up until now, she's made sure that my brother, Tom, my sister, Kathy, and I have received more than our fair share of love and attention. If I close my eyes, I can conjure up many random memories. So these are random, they're not necessarily the most significant and biggest milestones of my childhood, but these are random memories. I can still picture Mom in the kitchen window, either cooking our dinner or cleaning up afterwards, while my brother Tom and me, Kathy, and the neighborhood friends were playing ball out in the yard at 104 Lewis Street. I, for some reason, picture you in the window there, probably at the kitchen sink.
She was a umpire.
My dad would always be in the picture too, but let's face it, this is about my mom today.
Remember that.
So almost everything I say would apply to my dad too, but it's all about Mom today. We were always playing, us kids, and she was always tending to our needs. Other random memories that come to mind, remember, very random, some of them might be small and trivial, are of her taking me to the old Shoppers World in Framingham. For some reason I remember tagging along with you there.
You didn't tag, I took.
But I think that was something you and I did. And maybe it was once or twice, but it sticks out in my mind. Skiing with me at Klein Innsbruck in Ski Valley. Treating me, I hope these are accurate memories, to a cup of hot chocolate somewhere like Brigham's in Walpole while waiting for Kathy to take piano lessons. So we'd go out for hot chocolate. It's something I remember. Introducing me to her bridge club friends. I remember that. And I think you introduced, again, a lot of supplies, my brother and sister probably have similar memories. I remember being taken, she'd come upstairs and get us to come down, and he'd introduce me, and we'd have a chance to maybe grab some of that bird mix. Do they still make that anymore? Those chocolates, I used to love those. Hemming my bell bottoms on a sewing machine when I was a teenager. We used to add a piece of cloth to the bottom. That was very cool and hippie-like, and you used to do that on your sewing machine. Helping me with my French homework when I kind of struggled in French, as I recall, for a few years, and you would kind of drill me on some of the words. And do you remember that? Yeah.
How do you say hello, Bob?
Bonjour. You Tom
How do you say it back?
My brother's very funny. At your birthday party, maybe I'll do the same. Where was I? Typing a long article about my Shakespeare professor, John Talley, who grew up at Bates, that I wrote for the college newspaper. I remember you helped me to type that article. So, to this day, she still takes to heart her role as mother. She calls or writes emails. I love emailing my mom. That's really cool that she's into the technology. Dad, not so much, but Mom likes the email, and I like that. Often just to say she's worrying about me. That happened recently. Colin just said you were thinking about me. I think he even said worrying about me. She talks to me about all kinds of things, like my job, my finances, my house, my kids, and the fact that I run the marathon almost every year, despite the fact that I complain about my knees and my hips and my back year after year. So that's number one. It was just number one. We have the room till 3. She's a loving grandmother. So here's number 2, loving grandmother. Some of these go quicker too, right? This is only 2. As much as she relishes her role as a mother, she also takes great pleasure in being a grandmother. She's made countless trips up to Syracuse, down to Florida, and not quite so far away to Sudbury to spend quality time with her 6 grandchildren, Christopher and Gretchen. Chris is here, back there. TJ and Kelly, Tom and Lorraine's kids, and Scott and Ben, my kids. Chris and Becca, of course, and my sister's kids. I know I speak for my sister Kathy and my brother Tom when I say my mom has always been there, not just for her children, but for her children's children. Now we're moving quicker. Number 3, she's a loyal friend. Of course, it's one reason why so many of you are here today. My mom has so many good friends, each and every one of you. A lot of you. And there was a lot more. We couldn't invite everybody, but we invite as many as we could. All of whom are very near and dear to her. She's always talked highly of her friends, ever since I can remember. Her friends from her childhood, from the schools she attended, from the schools, Borough and Ahern, where she taught for 20 years in Foxborough, from the Methodist Church, from Hawthorne Village, where she's lived with my dad the last 8 or so years, from her bridge club, some of you were in her bridge club, Joyce, which she's been a member of forever, from the Senior Center and from the YMCA, where she exercises on a regular basis. She is a tireless teacher. Number 4. Do you know that my mom was a semi-finalist? I Googled this. I had to get I couldn't even remember the exact details. I Googled it and I found your name. It's on the internet. My mom was a semi-finalist for the Massachusetts Teacher of the Year Award in 1996. Yeah. My mom has always had teaching in her blood. Before she was ever a teacher of learning disabled children in the Foxborough Public School System for 20 years, and afterwards to this day. A good part of her role as a mother to me, Kathy and Tom, was teaching. Teaching us patience and perseverance, teaching us ethics and etiquette, teaching us morals and manners. And here's a few random things, such as not to chew with our mouths open when we were kids, and say please and thank you and excuse me. Pardon moi s'il vous plaît. I remember saying it for some reason at the table. There's the French. Teaching us how to tie our shoes when we were little, teaching us how to apply for college, get a good job, and just plain do the right thing as we got older. Number 5, she's an average churchgoer. I've always admired my mom for her devotion to the church, specifically the United Methodist Church in Franklin. She and my dad have been members there for more than 50 years. Oh my God. How many years?
From 54, so that would be, what,
56? 57? 57 years. Yeah, long time. During all that time, my mom has participated in countless church-related events and activities. She has sung in the choir. She had various committees.
No,
I'm
I
sure.
don't sing in the choir.
You haven't? You've never sung in the choir?
I don't sing.
My dad has, so I'll say that for my dad.
Well, you can still sing in the choir.
It's not too late yet.
I was going to recruit you afterwards. I didn't know that. We'll get you back in there.
No, you would pop me in.
Some of this I did consult with, one of these coming up I consulted with Kathy. I should have consulted with you on the choir. I wasn't sure. I'm sure you had sung in the choir. Where was it? She had various committees. Served as a volunteer for this, that, and practically everything. She's even delivered sermons as a lay speaker. Her latest one, for which I was fortunate enough to be sitting in the pews with my wife Barbara and our sons Scott and Ben, was about one of the first women to be ordained in the Methodist Church and the best-known woman minister in the world at the turn of the century, and that was Anna Howard Shaw. In that sermon, my mom mentioned the Boston Marathon, something that caught my attention, and the story of Dick and Ricky Hoyt, who has cerebral palsy and his father's dream for his son. Dick and Ricky Hoyt, Dick pushes his son in the wheelchair, and you managed to incorporate that into your sermon. And even though I don't attend church nearly often enough today, and that's probably an understatement, I don't attend often at all, but I do every once in a while. I consider myself to be very spiritual, and that is absolutely true, with a strong belief in God, and that's thanks to my upbringing, and thanks to the inspiration of my mom and dad. Number 6, she is a passionate storyteller. Like my dad, my mom likes to reminisce about what life was like for her growing up. It's her way of ensuring that the history of the family is transferred from one generation to another. She's always glad to talk about life as a young Cornforth, her maiden name, with her brother Hal and sister Eleanor, who are both here today. My Aunt Ellie and my Uncle Hal. My Uncle Phil's here. Lynn, my cousin. Her school days in New Bedford, Bates College, where she went to college, or how she met my father on a blind date set up by Lindsay Gifford at, and I wasn't sure, the beach.
Old Silver, North Falmouth. Some of
Okay.
you may know it.
But I knew it was at a beach and it was a blind date. But what I don't think she talks about much with others are the beautiful dramatic poems she has written. Poems that betray just how deeply she thinks about moments of pleasure, joy, and sadness. Ask her to read one or two of them to you someday. I think you'll be impressed. Yes, to know my mom is to know an emotional and empathetic thinker, someone who has a wealth of life experience to share to anyone within earshot. Number 7, last but not least, she is a quiet, unassuming leader. In everything my mother does, she displays incredible drive and initiative, determination, and persistence. And she's not afraid to march to the beat of a different drummer, either. She has the courage of her convictions. If she believes in something, she's not afraid to stand up and to be counted, but always in a tactful, diplomatic, respectful manner. My mom is a humble, unheralded woman, if you ask me, despite her impeccable, outstanding character and many extraordinary achievements. She goes about her business in her own inimitable way, always getting things done, but often under the radar, consistently, steadily, and unfailingly there for her friends, for her family, for her colleagues, for the greater good in us all. She is a hero, too often an unsung one, to me, to Kathy, to Tom, to my dad, and I'm guessing to each and every one of you, too. I look up to you, Mom, and I love you. We all love you, and we all wish you a happy birthday. Give my mom a kiss.